Hey, how's it going? This is Melinda Murphy, and welcome to my channel. Today, I am so excited because I am with the founders of Kiss My Wax Records, Jason Herndon and Joe Lalich. It is a pleasure to have you all on my channel. And before we get started, I've got so many questions. We've got so much exciting stuff to talk about. But I just want to say what you all have done is exactly why I do my vinyl videos. Great music, great sounding pressings on records, and beautiful packaging. I know what you've done with Slaughter's Fear No Evil, and I'm just so excited also about the new release that is up for pre-order, Slaughter's 1992 album, The Wildlife. You all are doing a box set as well as what you call a standard version, which I don't call it standard. I think it's beautiful. And I've just been so impressed with what you all have done. First off, just tell me a little bit about this exciting pre-order for Slaughter's The Wildlife.
You want me to go, Joe?
Yeah, do it.
All right. So this is the second installment. We'll talk about Fear No Evil a little bit later, but this is the second installment of the Slaughter series. We have 4 records coming, hopefully 5, but we're doing The Wildlife next. And this is actually the 30th. 2022 is the 30th anniversary of The Wildlife. So
April 1992. Crazy.
There you go. Right. Yeah. It's unbelievable. It's been 30 years. But just like the treatment that we did for Fear No Evil, as you said, we're doing a box set, kind of a deluxe, or we call it the definitive edition. And you know, it'll come housed in a beautiful box with all kinds of killer treatments to the box itself. Fear No Evil had 3 records. This one's going to have 4 records. Of course, the main record will be a double LP. It'll be Fear No Evil was 45 RPM half speed mastered. This will be 33 RPM half speed mastered, and it has to be that way because the record's so long.
Right.
It would be a triple LP if we did 45 RPM. So there's 2 of the records, and then we've got a totally unreleased live show that no one has ever heard. It's sat in the vaults for 30 years, fully mixed, 24-track killer show. This is
going to have a concert LP in it.
Yes, it'll have a complete wildlife show from 1992 that was recorded on a 24-track, recording setup. Mixed down and was never used. And then there will be a demos record as well. And then there's all kinds of little cool things inside of it. Like we're going to have buttons and stickers, and we're going to recreate a press kit. And the Fear No Evil had like your golden ticket item, which was whoever gets that gets tickets to see the band for life.
I hope one of the viewers of my channel wins that.
I hope so too. So
yeah, I mean, we're excited to see who ends up with that ticket.
Where it lands.
It'll be a very cool moment. And we're working with the distribution partner, so he's just going to pick a number at random and dump it in there. And there's something else special about that we won't share right now. But it's whoever lands that set will be. There's some cool. We hope they'll be really happy with it.
There's a little bit more to it than just the golden ticket portion of it. But the golden ticket in the wildlife is actually going to be a fully signed, period correct photo of the band, including the late Tim Kelly.
Wow.
And our good buddy Pat Lucero, who we'll talk about in a little bit, is donating that from his personal collection. He's basically the curator of Slaughter merchandise, and he's donating one of those to go into one of the box sets.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. So
really special.
And then the standard edition, just because we're great marketing guys and want to make you buy both, the vinyl in the box set is black. If you want colored vinyl, you also have to buy the standard. So the standard will be a solid red and solid white 2 LP set. It'll actually have a hype sticker that only comes on the standard. What else about the standard? Same specs. It'll be 2 LP, 33 RPM half speed mastered in the whole 9 yards. So
can I ask who is going to be mastering The Wildlife?
Yeah, the Wildlife will be mastered by the same gentleman who mastered Fear No Evil, and it's Mayor Applebaum.
Mhm.
And Mayor has done, if you look him up and go to his website, he has mastered records for thousands of great hard rock artists. Well, more than hard rock, but that's what I noticed, like Faith No More and Dream Theater and all of these different bands that he's worked with. And he knows how to the important thing here is he knows how to master for vinyl. He knows how to master audio for vinyl. It's very important for people to understand that you don't just, when you finish recording something, you don't just master it and that same master goes to all the different formats. There's a master for CD, there's a master for vinyl, and there's a master for digital. It's all very different, and you got to have the right person to do it the right way. So.
Right. And let me ask you this. When it comes to the recording of the Wildlife and Fear No Evil, they were probably recorded with CDs in mind more so than vinyl back in the day, right?
Well, I think the replication process was with CDs in mind, but both of those records were recorded on 24-track analog 2-inch tape.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So, and in fact, Fear No Evil is the last fully analog record that Slaughter recorded. Revolution and Back to Reality were recorded on Pro Tools. So
Okay.
we are actually going from analog masters to down to vinyl on these, and it'll be the same with if we are lucky enough to get Stick It To You, because all of those were recorded on 2-inch tape.
Okay.
Yeah, Slaughter was never really a vinyl band per se, and
Right.
Mark has talked about how disappointed he was personally because all the bands that he grew up listening to and the way that he learned the guitar at the beginning was by playing vinyl over and over and over and learning all those riffs from the artists that he loves. And he talked a little bit about how disappointed he and the band were that they were sort of being kind of relegated to CD and didn't even really get the chance to be on vinyl, properly speaking.
Right.
So that was another reason why I think they sort of enjoyed the direction that we were taking with all this stuff, because we were really kind of giving it the vinyl love and treatment that they would have hoped would have happened back when they started as a band, as if they were a 70s band or, a very early 80s band who were kind of more vinyl centric. So I think that's another cool part to what we're bringing to the table. And that Slaughter honestly is being completely, they're being fantastic about allowing us to get into the vaults and hearing all this stuff and deciding what we want to put on, and they're part of that process and providing the tapes. So it's been a great experience from that standpoint.
Absolutely.
I've always really loved Slaughter. They came around at a perfect time for me. When I was younger, I was really listening to radio music in the early 80s. I liked the new wave, like the Police and Duran Duran. Van Halen was my favorite band. But I felt like at the late 80s, we started getting Belinda Carlisle, and Foreigner was starting to sing I Want to Know What Love Is. They weren't rocking out anymore. I needed something heavier, and that's when bands like Slaughter and Motley Crue, and of course Kiss was there all along. That was a perfect time for Slaughter to come in my life, and I got the privilege of getting to see them open for Kiss when they were, I think it was the Hot in the Shade tour.
It was.
And they were great. So I really enjoyed them. And I've seen some of the video of them signing the box sets, and they just seem like really cool guys. They don't have that rock star attitude, even though they probably should and deserve to have.
Yeah, we sat in the room with them for 4.5 hours while they signed 500 records and some other bonus little things, and it was a long day, but they were wonderful from beginning to end, just praising everything. Because what we first did, I've only posted a couple of the video clips, but the first thing that we did was I showed them the Fear No Evil box, which I have here with me and I'll be able to show in a few minutes.
Yes.
And they were just, they looked through every page of the book. Bloss and Dana and Mark were just, telling stories and talking and pointing out. It was really, really, really cool. Joe was there with us. He's in Detroit. He was there with us on what were you on? FaceTime.
I think FaceTime at the
FaceTime,
time. Yeah.
And so they were talking to Joe and I and my buddy Pat Lucero was there and his family helping us through. It was a really, really good time. They were great. So
now I have had the privilege of meeting Pat and Carol. I was at a record store one time and they just caught my eye because they themselves look like rock stars.
right.
And I don't know, we just kind of struck up a conversation and I've only met them once, but they were so warm and friendly. And they got to tell me some fun stories about KISS. And I just really liked them immediately. Are they as nice as they seem?
They're nicer. Yeah,
Yeah, they really are.
They're nice. I mean, Jason's, I've met them multiple times. They've always been fantastic to me. Jason's really very close with them. And, Pat has been integral, and so is Carol, to be honest, with this whole process. Pat and his relationship with Mark is really kind of the conduit that brought this whole thing together. That's and allowed us to even start talking to these guys about the kind of access that they've provided us because, he was a trusted partner sort of coming into it. So, their value can't be overstated in all of this. They've been fantastic.
Yeah, it was. Oh, first of all, I want to say this because we talked about the wildlife and we didn't tell anybody where to get it. So,
that's right.
Hey guys, go to. There we go. KissMyWaxRecords.com. We'll leave that on the screen. How about it? KissMyWaxRecords.com. You can pre-order the wildlife, the standard and the box set, and Fear No Evil box set is sold out, but we still have some Fear No Evil standards. So a lot of people that have been coming in for the wildlife are now picking up the Fear No Evil standard along with it. A lot more than I anticipated. So so that's great.
There's a lot of vinyl completists out there.
There are.
That's right.
There are.
That's right.
And I think once they see the packaging, like the album cover and how good it looks, I think that's probably part of it too. They're encouraged to buy it. So I'm looking forward to, I want to just say one more thing about the wildlife and then we'll update people on Fear No Evil.
Sure.
I'm really excited. I have for one, let me just say, as far as the box set and I assume the wildlife, will there be some type of autograph involved in that, or was that just Fear No Evil?
No, all of the definitive box sets will be autographed. So by their surviving members. Yes, it will. So the actual album jacket in the box set will be autographed, and the autographs will be under shrink wrap because we're having them sign the jackets, bringing the jackets back to the pressing plant in Nashville, and then Nashville is, once the vinyl is done, is assembling and shrink wrapping. So,
and you were kind enough to send me a test pressing where they signed all 3 of the test pressings. We're not getting one of those lazy autographs. They are clear and crisp and look fantastic. You can read their names. They weren't lazy. They really wrote beautiful autographs. And I think they're like frame on your wall quality autographs. I think they look fantastic. So
not only that, from the first one to the last one were like that. They were so respectful. Mark said when he talked with us at one point that they were all going to get together in a room and sign these things with love because that's what it means for them as a band, and to have fans who have stuck with this band for as long as they have. And they just came through. They were fantastic with it. They signed every single one. And they're all 3 of them are machines, man. Every autograph looks great. They were respectful, took their time, no complaining. I mean, they were just fantastic. So we can't say enough about how great they've been.
Oh yeah. I was on we had kind of an assembly line, tables in a U, and they were in the middle, and Pat was on the far side, feeding the jackets through. Bloss was first. Yeah, Bloss was first, and he was feeding them through. And then I was the one taking them from Mark and putting them on the drying table. So I looked at every single jacket that came through. I didn't see one that I had to go, guys, we're probably not going to send this one out because it's, there was none of that. They were beautiful autographs from beginning.
I think they even spoke with each other about, Mark should be here because his signature is this, and they don't want to smear it as they were bringing it down the production line. So they were so cool and respectful about all of it. It was not a, your nervous situation. They were very cool about the whole thing.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. That's nice. And I'm sure as this is a business, but on the fan side of things, you had to have been pinching yourself watching this happen.
I am a massive Slaughter fan. When Joe and I decided to do these, licensed records and stuff, we had already worked with Ace before, and as you can see, I'm a massive Kiss fan and collector.
Oh, definitely.
But right after Kiss, my favorite bands are like Slaughter and King's X and Warrant, and those are my favorite bands.
Warrant too,
So,
yes, love Warrant.
Well, we might stand by, but we no,
that's a little
no,
hint of something.
yeah, it's maybe a little hint. We haven't
Maybe
said
a little
that.
hint,
Yeah, we haven't said anything about that. But Joe was like, one day we need to go after some more records, and finally I gave in, and I started going after records that I knew had never been released on vinyl from my favorite bands, and Slaughter was the first band I thought about.
And that's another thing that I'm so happy that you all are doing. I feel like some bands are so great and they're not getting their proper due. Not that Slaughter's been forgotten by any means. However, you see a lot of these other bands reissue after reissue after reissue. These were needed. These weren't things you're just putting out there, and they're not the gazillionth copy. These are very special records. And there's never been a copy of Fear No Evil on vinyl, like you said. There was the Wildlife.
Yes.
But it's very rare. I vinyl shop all the time. I've never seen it.
It was released in the US Record Club only.
Okay.
And it was released in Germany and the UK and Korea. And there may be one other location. Pat, I know you're watching this. Type in the comments what was the other country, but those are the main ones. The ones you normally see are the overseas ones. So
right, and
but they're hard as heck to find.
To one either, but I'm sure if it sounds anything close to as good as Fear No Evil does, it's going to beat the original, probably, in my opinion. Haven't heard the original, but and the original's ridiculously expensive if you even find it. So you can have a whole box with autographs for basically what you'd be buying an original for. So
maybe even a little less, because sometimes those early to mid 90s records, because they pressed vinyl in Europe all the way up till about 1997, 8 or something like that. Like if you can find Motley Crue 94 with John Corabi, or Van Halen Balance, or any of those kinds of records, they're hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, that's about Balance is about a $300 or $400 record at
easy.
You just wait till the secondary market gets a hold of your box sets for Fear No Evil.
Hope so.
It's going to be crazy.
The thing is too, there aren't very many of them, right? So Fear No Evil, we're doing 500, and we're doing 750 of the Wildlife, and that's it. We're not going to repress it. We're not going back and building more boxes and doing any of that kind of stuff. These are signed limited editions, and then that'll be it forever on those. So once those are here, that's right. So we try and make these things special. Right. And you were talking earlier about how some of these bands and their relationship with vinyl and some of the reissues haven't been great. A lot of times those are just digital transfers to vinyl. The band doesn't even know that they're coming out. There have been some Slaughter reissues that have come out that the band had absolutely nothing to do with, didn't even know it was coming out. Right. And so that's what we're trying to do with all of our releases, is bring something special, not only from a packaging perspective and what you get inside that, but the music is really what moves us to do this in the first place. So it's not going to be any good if the records don't sound great and the bands don't approve who we're working with. So that's what we're trying to do. That's different, is kind of have a relationship with these folks as much as we can, let them know what we're doing, and really bring them into the fold so they get a say. Otherwise, another crappy reissue is coming out that people are going to be upset that it doesn't sound the way that they want it to.
Yeah, the last thing you want is for somebody to go, man, this looks really great. Too bad it didn't sound good.
Well, I will say I own a Slaughter reissue of I'm forgetting the name.
Stick It To You.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
To you. And your copy of Fear No Evil sounds a lot better than my Stick It To You. It was actually very disappointing. It's just very dull and lifeless. Stick It To You. Fear No Evil is fantastic, and I'm really pleased with it. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's very kind of you to say, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make sure you got a test pressing.
I appreciate that so much.
Yeah, sure. And we we got the original test pressings back and actually rejected them. That's what test pressings are for.
Right.
And I actually have, 3 boxes of test pressings here that are basically dumpster, because we rejected them because there were problems with audio and errors. And I went back and said, look at this. This is our checklist of issues. And the pressing plant went in with microscopes and said, you're exactly right. There's too much low end here. It's going to bounce out of the groove. The grooves are too close together here. Let's redo it. And then, so we had to go through a process of rejecting and having new test pressings made. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, let me move on to I want to make sure people know what the holdup on Fear No Evil is. I already know and that's one good thing about vinyl collectors. We have learned to be patient. There have been holdups and delays every which way. So we're pretty understanding, but let us know what on your side of things, what is going on. And, it has taken a little longer than you all had hoped to come out.
Yes.
Explain why for people who don't know.
Joe?
Well, I guess we could start with, we were hoping to put multiple box sets out a year. We were hoping to put at least 2 of these things out, if not maybe even 1 more per year. This was not going to be a year-long cycle for us.
Right.
But with COVID and then all the commensurate ripple effects in the supply chain, it just has become a disaster for the vinyl industry as far as like just being able to get vinyl pressed, period. And then you throw in some Goliaths like Adele and some other folks who are pressing all kinds of records. And some of the smaller, more boutique labels get moved aside. The record labels aren't going to, or the pressing companies aren't going to necessarily say that, but that's probably just an economic reality. So yeah, when we started, we were hoping that this was going to be a 3 to 6 month thing. Then COVID kept cascading and cascading. You would lose pressmen, you would lose people at the warehouses, just all the way down the chain, even, to some of our suppliers outside of, the pressing, from a pressing standpoint, we had issues with them. So the whole thing, just like everybody's been dealing with, you go to the store and you wonder, why isn't this product available? Why isn't this product available? It's happening in all industries. And unfortunately, it's hit vinyl very hard just because from a manufacturing standpoint, there just aren't that many presses. Demand has gone up. COVID has affected it. And so I have unfortunately fallen victim like everybody else. We're in line. We've been in line. We make multiple phone calls and emails, weekly, monthly, to get updates from them. We then take those updates and try and share them and be as transparent as possible with our customer base. If you follow us on any of our social channels, or if you've ordered, emails have been sent out repeatedly about what's happening. We actually just sent out an email recently, and we included a demo song that's not even going to be included in the box set for everybody's patience. So we're trying to do as much as we can, be as transparent as possible. And I have to say, the customers have been fantastic. And I think, like you said, Melinda, I think a lot of people have come to understand that this just is what it is in the vinyl community. And it's unfortunate. And our business model is one where pre-orders help get the ball rolling for us, as far as like being able to get things paid for. And we're just a 2-man operation. We're not sitting on piles of money where we can launch these things ahead of time. Now, down the road, we hope to be able to launch multiple things at multiple times and have multiple streams going, where that's not going to, necessarily be the fact. But that's where we are now. And our big thing is to be as honest and transparent as possible with people and just let them know what's happening. And people have been great. So we thank you for the patience and the support.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think the customer service is really important. And to be fair to you all, I have a few pre-orders from a company, the same company, multiple, orders at a time, and I don't always get them. You know what I mean? So you can have 2 pre-orders from the same company, and you're going to get your product. It just takes a while. And
I have 4 open KISS pre-orders on vinyl right now. That's all from Universal. They're the largest record company in the world, and it's been months since I've ordered those things, and won't have them for another couple of months, and they have all the muscle power in the world. So right. It is what it is. And to piggyback on some of what Joe said, was saying there, all beautifully stated and 100% accurate.
Thanks,
you and I, Melinda, we're perfect color commentary. I appreciate it. No, Melinda, you and I were talking about like Joe and I's experience in the industry, in the music business in general. And I just thought I would speak to that a little bit so the viewers understand. I've worked in the music business since I was 19 years old, and I'm 46 now. And I went from the retail side to advertising to vinyl distribution for the last 11 years. And our parent company of my vinyl distributor or my company that I work for, is United Record Pressing, which is the oldest and largest pressing plant in the United States. We are Sony and Universal's main pressing plant. We actually pressed all 500,000 of those Adele records. And Joe has owned a record store for the past, 3 years, 2 years?
Almost 3 years now.
Almost 3 years.
You own a record store?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
I'm going to get in touch with you after this podcast. I have a record I'm just dying to get. And if you ever get a hold of it, I'd hope you'd sell it to me.
Yeah, we do that for folks all the time. We have sort of people's holy grail and white whale list. And it's surprising what walks into the store on a daily basis. So for sure. We'll connect afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah. So Detroit Record Company is his record store, by the way. And
record club, but
I mean Detroit Record Club. He's even one of my accounts, and I don't even know the name of his store. So
that's right. But back to that. So you were talking, Melinda, about waiting for some records that are way off, in the distance, or you pre-ordered. So my store right now is ordering records that aren't slated to come out until the end of September, and that's by massive record labels, like Warner and Sony and all the others. So it's just the reality. Unfortunately, is that it's a double-edged sword. Vinyl, it's the golden age of vinyl, in my opinion, because I feel like it's undergone a resurgence. I feel like people are more respectful to vinyl than they ever have been. They're expecting more out of vinyl than they ever have in the past. The people are very, very savvy who are buying these days. But what that's causing is a ripple effect again in the industry of people demanding more, demanding faster, and just wanting more content, and it just can't come out fast enough, literally. So it's the double-edged sword of being a popular physical medium again.
Yeah. Very well. It is what it is, and like those Van Halen one steps that are going to be coming out by Mobile Fidelity. I have a few of those on pre-order. I have no idea when they're coming.
And you know what? I own a record store, and Jason's in distribution, and we have no idea when they're coming out. They'll just show up at some point.
In fact, we, URP music distributors, are there outside of their direct-to-consumer and the few store accounts that have direct accounts with them. We are the only one-stop distributor they sell to. And everybody always asks about street dates. Mobile Fidelity isn't a street date label. They are a sell upon receipt. And whenever they have time is when they get, and that's always been the case with Mobile Fidelity, even before the mess that we're in now. They've always been that way. They would put something on pre-sale and you wouldn't see it for, a year and a half. That's just the way they've always been. So.
And they also have the luxury of having been around for 40, 50 years, whatever it is now at this point, 40 years, and people just going, oh, okay, the next Mobile Fidelity thing that comes out is going to be great, and we all want it. And so we're trying to build that reputation, but it's honestly, it's been a challenge in this sort of a climate with the way that vinyl is going right now from a production standpoint, because we're as excited and as frustrated as everybody else is about wanting to have these in our hands and being able to send them out to everybody, because we believe that we've turned out a great product, and we can't wait for everybody to have it.
That's right.
You have turned out a great product. Can you just
show somebody?
Maybe show it like a box cover, or if you have an album.
I can do better than that.
Yeah, we'll do the whole thing.
I've got the whole thing here. If you want to watch or set,
that'd be awesome. Yeah.
So I have one of two sets. We got all of our tests. They sent us samples. all of the printing companies and our fulfillment guy in Connecticut, and we all got our sample. Joe and I got our samples and stuff. So I basically have a whole thing put together here. And first of all, we had our own box designed. So all
The
Fear No
box
Evil.
matters.
That's right.
Absolutely, it does. It does.
That's right. All Fear No Evil records will be shipped in this box. So if you ordered the standard and the box set, the standard will be in a different box because this only houses the box set. So when you open this puppy up, it's got it's got all of this along the sides here.
Ooh,
okay,
that's nice. That's so pretty.
So we got the box here. Get this out, and this is what the front of the box looks like. And you've got. We'll let Joe talk a little bit about some of the materials, but this is like a soft touch mat.
Yeah. So the goal here is to have consistent packaging, but different packaging for each record. So what you'll see the record cover itself is inset, and there's a gloss over top of that, and then on top of that there is a silver foil for the Slaughter and Fear No Evil title, and then the holding line around the record itself, and then the definitive edition. And if you want to show the spine, Jason, then you'll see. The logo there and the definitive edition on the spine there as Jason holds it up. We're waiting for your internet connection for a second, Jason.
my internet connection?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, so we're good and back. Yeah, so there's the logo and the definitive edition there, and then our logo and our product number there on the bottom.
That's right.
That's going to look very cool on a shelf. And I will say, even though, the picture is what it is, I have to say that's a very elegant looking box. I know it's the lady and it's an interesting picture, but it's very elegant. And I love the Slaughter. It's like what do they call it? Mylar look?
There's a foil. There's a foil hit to all of that.
Right.
So there's actually three different materials going on there. You have that sort of matte black feel of the box. Then you have the gloss of the record, and then you have the foil on top of it. So yeah, that's one thing that we do, me being a designer by trade, we're always trying to think about, and Jason and I have stayed up many late nights talking about what value can we add for the buck and still have this project make sense for us. But we're constantly taking money out of our pockets and putting them back into these boxes because we know as fans, that's what we would want to see. If we're calling it the definitive edition, we want to make it as special as we can, given the budgetary restrictions that we have.
So this is where they will be numbered on the back.
Numbered to 500 for Fear
right.
No Evil, but 750 for the wildlife. Right?
That is correct. Mm-hmm. And like Joe was talking about on the spine here, all of the the follow-up releases will of course it'll say Slaughter, the definitive edition, the wildlife, and all of that stuff, and the logo will be the same. So when they're sitting on your shelf, they'll all be uniform. So
that's really cool. That's a beautiful box. Y'all did a very good job on that box. It's so pretty.
Thank you.
I think everybody's going to be very impressed and glad they ordered it.
So then we've got the Demos and Rarities record, and this is the jacket.
That's cool.
That's all handwritten, and there's the track listing for people that might have been asking. So Slaughter, Demos, and Rarities. Then we took this photo.
Great photo.
This is from the session of the back of the CD photo session. So, and I do have records in here, but they're the test pressings, like I said. And then, so we'll also have housed in a black envelope. We will have these cool 8x10s of the guys.
Oh, those are really pretty. That's nice.
Yeah,
It kind of reminds me of the Beatles' White Album. They all came with those really nice glossy photos.
Right, yep. Right, exactly right. Yeah, and this was one thing too that the band. So Jason and Pat did an amazing job. They actually went and tracked down all the photographers, almost all of the photographers, and almost all of the designers who originally worked on Fear No Evil. So we spared no. We turned over every rock we could to find these people. And in many cases, these people hadn't thought about these records for 25 or more years. And we were literally having to pull artwork off of antiquated discs that don't connect to modern computers and trying to piece these things back together. But having said that, one of the photographers had those bio photo shots, and the band had never even seen them before. So that's the level of sort of forensic work that we did to find material that people had never seen, even the band themselves. So it's been kind of a cool discovery for Mark Bloss and Dana as well, as we've been going through this.
I bet they really appreciated that. It sounds like you owe Pat and Carol a steak dinner, huh?
Oh, you have no idea.
At least.
Then we recreated the backstage pass. This is it's thick material. If you listen,
Yeah,
made on like a
it actually has like a backstage pass texture feel to it, and it actually is a sticker, so you could wear it as a backstage pass if you wanted to.
So
that's really neat.
And then
so a cool little piece there
like that.
Yeah.
All right. So then we get to the book. This is a 48 page, right, Joe? 48 page
48
book.
pages. Yep.
And you'll notice, of course, a lot of the theme is black and white, because that's kind of the theme of the record and the theme of the period. So there's a lot of stuff in here. A lot of photos in here are Carol's. Like we had, access. These are the spines of the 2-inch master tapes when they were recording Fear No Evil. There's some photos of a lot of that stuff. And we won't go through it all. We got a forward by Mark there. And what else is in here? All the lyrics are in here. Let's see. Like Pat scanned all these pics and Joe lined them all up. These are all tour pics used on the tour.
Very cool.
I won't show that. We'll leave that for we've got the original rejected cover art. We'll leave some things for a surprise. Here's a DAT tape that Dana took a picture of, and there's actually a cool shot in here. We'll let everybody see that on their own of when they recorded the record. They kept all the sticks and the pics, and they wrote like what songs they recorded using those sticks with and the dates. And Bloss took a picture of all of a bunch of his sticks. It's like probably 16 sticks or something like that, with all the song titles on it and the dates that they were used on the recording. It was really, really, really cool to see. So,
so a lot of great behind the scenes stuff for sure.
Right. And then finally,
go ahead.
No,
I was just going to say, and there's also one lucky person's going to get a huge surprise. And it sounds like everybody's getting a little surprise in their Fear No Evil package. Is that right or no?
Not everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are some surprises. Well,
okay.
There is a surprise. There is something that we have not mentioned that's on all of the all of the records, including the standards.
So there's going to be something that people are going to be like, well, that's cool.
You're going to have to really, 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 really look for it. And I can't wait to hear the first person. And it's not like, you won something or anything like that. It's just, it's a cool nod and something that most record labels don't do or pay attention to. So that'll be on everybody's record, standard or deluxe. And then there will be some other cool surprises in the boxes. It won't be for everybody, but we did some extra things for some folks that'll randomly get them. We have no idea where they'll end up. So,
okay.
But last but not least in the set is the actual record.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so pretty. And look at that.
Yeah,
you would just have to stick that in a frame. That's gorgeous.
You can see the foil there.
Thank you, yeah.
Yeah, so pretty. And those autographs look so good. They did a great job. They really did a great job. They did a great job, but Slaughter, the band themselves, also came through.
For sure,
really
for sure.
Cool.
And again, here, so if you look on the original release of Fear No Evil, they kind of used artwork to simulate what silver or metallic might look like. And we actually used it in the logo there. Again, we used a little foil accent on the logo on both the front and the back.
Very nice.
Yeah, and so it's a nice gatefold piece as well. The back that Jason was just showing there will all of the records will be consistent this way. So we're taking some liberties and designing them so that there's some consistencies, but they also stay as close to the original release as possible. And then it's a nice gatefold as well.
The standard version isn't autographed, but does it look like that?
Identical.
Yes, it is exactly the same jacket, just different vinyl inside. And then you also get an exclusive hype sticker on that release that you don't get on the box set release.
That's cool. So it's the same cover, and they can still get the standard version at kissmywaxrecords.com right now.
Correct. Yes,
that's
correct. Fear No Evil standard is available, as well as the Wildlife box set and standard edition.
Okay, so they can pre-order all three if they want. They just can't get
absolutely
anymore. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And if you were to order, anyone that comes in and say they order a standard of each, and the Wildlife is a far off from now. When we do get Fear No Evil, we will split your order and we will ship you your Fear No Evil. We won't make you wait another 8 or 9 months for the Wildlife to come out. We will eat that shipping and ship that to you. So
and that's not a cheap.
No, it's not
to do, but that's a nice thing. That's the right thing to do. That's a kind thing to do. So
sure.
All right, so we can wrap things up now. I'm trying to think. Was there any other? Oh, I know one. Why did you all want to get into this? This seems like a lot of work. It looks like so many details. Why did you all want to get into vinyl and box sets and doing stuff like this? What was your inspiration for it? Obviously, working at a record store may help. Working in a music for your job too, but
yeah, I think it's a little bit of all of those things. I think it really starts off with the passion for the music, because if we didn't love the music, I think you could fall easily into the trap of, oh, we'll just release this or that and not really care. And we don't care if it's digital or analog or how it's mastered. We're just going to crank stuff out for money. That's really not why we're doing this. I have a graphic design background. That's what I've done for my career. And I've always loved to put together packages like this. And I've always dreamed about, okay, if I was going to do something, what would it look like? It's a little bit like my record store. If I were to ever open a record store, what would it look like? Why would it be different? Why would people want to come to my store versus somebody else's? Why would people want to buy our package of records as opposed to somebody else's? Or why would they want them at all? Or what would differentiate us? Because there's hundreds of labels doing this kind of stuff. And so I think, bringing some of those special things to bear that we have with our hopefully a relationship with the artists that we're working with, and really pouring our fandom into it. If you're a big fan of any of these bands, I keep asking Jason, because he's a huge Slaughter fan. I love Slaughter too. Back to Reality was my record, so I'm kind of the odd Slaughter fan, because I like them a little bit. I liked them very early, and I got back into them late. But Jason, he's like a hardcore Slaughter fan. So I would design something, and I would go to him and just ask him, hey, would you want to have this? And so that's really why we're doing all of this. And you can see, hopefully it comes through that, both with the transparency and the things that we're trying to put into these box sets that are cool little extras, surprises. We're trying to always add value, and we're just trying to make people happy with the stuff that they're getting, because we know a lot of times that there are great shows like yours where you'll get a new piece of vinyl and you'd be like, man, they just didn't do right by that record. And I've been waiting for this record to be repressed for 10, 20, 30 years. And you put it on and you're like, it's just not what you hoped for. And we know that feeling, and we don't want people to feel that way. So we're really trying to put our all into it.
I don't think they will, based on what I've listened to. And I have a lot of audiophile records, and I think this sounds just excellent.
Thank you.
I'm really impressed. I'm really happy with what y'all are doing. I think it's great. And I know there's another label out there that's put out some records that I really like by the Damn Yankees and Warrant and different bands like that. But I'm glad you all are coming along, and you're putting out great sounding and just very cool packaging. I think it's wonderful. And that's why I wanted to have you all on my channel. And I'm so thankful that y'all were willing to come on and talk to me about it. And hopefully everybody will check out Kiss My Wax Records, check out the box sets, see the pictures, and hopefully order, because I think they're really worthwhile and worth having. So
thank you. That's very nice of you to say.
Anything else you all want to say about this that I left out, or any Was there something I should have asked that I didn't?
Oh,
I don't think so. You've been great for having us on. We appreciate it. I guess the last thing we could do is just quickly provide a real update on Fear No Evil for everybody.
oh yeah.
So what's happening now is all of the pieces are coming together. We're very close to having vinyl pressed. We're hoping the first part of April-ish. We're hoping, but we're in line like everybody else. Our timing has been moving up and sliding back. So we're hoping that by the at some point in April that we'll be able to start launching these things out.
Yeah.
And get it all rolling. So we're really not that far out. I know it's been a long wait, but here we are. We're only a month away, and let's hope we can all hang in there. And you've seen all the pieces and parts. We're literally waiting for the crown jewel of vinyl to be put in there, and then we'll go from there. So
it's all about the vinyl at this point, and as soon as y'all can get them in the packages, and they'll be shipped off, and everybody will have them. That'd be great.
Yeah,
that's it.
And now again, we've been told multiple times that it's going to be this month or that month, and we've been bumped back just because of unforeseen issues. So we're hoping that that's the timeline, and we're going to try and stick to it and hold the vinyl pressing folks' feet to the fire and get this thing out, because we're dying to get this thing out there.
We're dying.
I'm sure you are. And everybody just needs to check on like your Facebook page for updates.
Yes.
And you do send periodic emails when needed and stuff like that. So everybody's well informed. And
you can find us Kiss My Wax Records on everything, whether it be Instagram and Facebook are the main two places we post. Plus, if it's anything very important, I'll also send a direct email out. So fix your spam filters. Because I know a lot of those emails go to spam, but we try to keep everybody informed as much as possible. So
okay, that's great. And thank you all so much. I just want to say one more thing. I'm excited about the Wildlife because there's some really killer songs on there. I can't wait to hear how they're going to sound on vinyl. There's a song on there called Times They Change.
It's everybody's favorite.
Killer guitar solos. And there's some jangly guitar on there too. And I think that's going to sound fantastic on a better sounding pressing.
We'll probably have
we hear it, so
we may have the demo for Times They Change on there too. So
that'd be really
maybe
cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
We'll see. It'll all be a surprise. So
that's right.
Again, check out Kiss My Wax Records and check out the box sets and the standard for Fear No Evil. So thank you all so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. And best of luck and success to you so that you'll keep bringing us some more wonderful box sets by all these incredible bands. And I'm so thankful that Slaughter was so willing to work with you all and be able to give so much as well. So.
Well, we want to thank Pat Lucero for that because
definitely
he is the linchpin in that relationship. So
that's right, and the band for being so giving too. They've just been amazing. Like we've said, we can't say it enough. So there you go.
That's awesome. All right. Well, thank you all so much, and thank you to everybody for watching. Do you all want to plug your podcast? You all have a really cool Kiss podcast where if you're a Kiss fan. I mean, I watch y'all's podcast. I just want to say I watched a recent episode where the elders skip or play. Play. I love
That's what I say, not him.
Another person who's wrong. It's unbelievable.
You're outvoted.
That's right. I am outvoted. Yeah. I'm normally an army of one anyway.
That's right. Joe's on an island of his own.
It's Kiss My Collectibles.
Yes, Kiss My Collectibles with a K. If you just go to YouTube and type in Kiss My Collectibles or Google it, you will find us. We've been on the air for 6 years now, and we started out as Kiss My Wax, which is kind of where our label name came from, because it was just all about Kiss vinyl. And then when we thought we'd ran the gamut for Kiss vinyl, we were like, well, we want to talk about collectibles too, so we changed the name. But we still do Kiss My Wax episodes. We do, I think not too long ago, we did Argentina releases, we did Germany releases and stuff, Japan. And so it's Joe and I and our really good friend Nicholas Buckland from Australia, who runs everythingkiss.com, and him and Joe put out the Hottest Brand in the Land book, official Kiss book that came out about 70s of coin era merchandise. That book's still available to buy. and also our good friends John Humphrey from Seether, the drummer from Seether, and John Five from Rob Zombie and many other bands are
and John Five,
and John Five, yeah. So they're co-hosts as well. So
awesome. Yeah, it's a great podcast. I try to watch it every chance I get. And your collections of Kiss records depress me because I don't have near as much as what you all have. But anyway, thank you so much. And thanks everybody for watching. And I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.